Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Royal Atlas and in today's video we'll be going over some things that you can do in any dress-up game when you're bored. The first thing that you can do in any video game is have a dress-up battle with your friends. In any dress-up game you can have a dress-up battle with your friends. This is usually super fun. Me and Kiki sometimes do this for fun, just on a whim. It is super fun, and it really just is a fun way to express yourself and just make fun with your friends. The next thing you can do with your friends in Royalty Kingdom 2 is have a car race. Oh, oh, this is when your car is not stuck. This is usually really fun to do. Um, but yeah, car race is always a good thing to do when you do want to have fun with the different cars. You can go speeds, and it's usually really fun. Another great thing to do in any dress-up game is to farm. Just farm for the currency. It can be really whatever you want. Whether it is diamonds in Royal High or it's Wisteria in Royalty Kingdom 2. But in reality, farming is just one of the ways that I find that I'm best easily to just grind that money and just chat with my friends. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did like it, please remember to like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord server. Sorry for it being such a short video, I've been really busy, but you can expect longer form content as the summer progresses. I hope you guys have a good day, and remember, you're always welcome in my castle.